Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back to the GSENC English podcast. Today is going to be the final episode of Season 3. So first off, we'd just like to thank all of you for joining us this season. We tried out a lot of new things, so hopefully we were able to teach you a lot along the way.
Also today we have a little bit of sad news. Isn't that right, Hyunwoo?
Yeah, that is true. We are set to announce that today is Lawton's last day with us at GNC. But we'd like to thank him for his hard work he has done here.
Yes, especially for the work he's done on this podcast.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. And I would just like to say to all of you that it has been a real privilege to work here and also a real honor to have the chance to help so many of you along your English journey. I am sad to be leaving, but I'm really happy that I had the chance to be here. You guys have been great.
So, in our last episode of Season 3 and our last episode of You Say We Say, what are we going to talk about, Hyunwoo, today?
Today we are talking about some different ways of saying goodbye.
Let's do it. Okay, so of course there are a lot of different ways to say goodbye, but I think we can say that there are four main types of goodbyes. So we have formal short-term goodbyes, formal long-term goodbyes, informal short-term goodbyes, and informal long-term goodbyes. Of course, formal goodbyes we will mostly use with people at work, and informal goodbyes we will use mostly with friends and family. Short-term goodbyes we'll use with people that we're going to see again soon, and long-term goodbyes we'll use with somebody that we may not see again for a while.
Okay, then why don't we talk about formal short-term goodbyes first?
Okay.
In Korea, we can say 이따 봬요, 또 뵙겠습니다, or 나중에 뵐게요. What are some good ways to say this in English?
Right. As you guys probably already know, English is often a very informal language, so the formal ways of saying short-term goodbyes are very similar to the informal ways to say goodbye. So you can just say things like, see you later, or see you next time. Just remember that we don't say see you again.
Okay, then what about for this kind of situation? What if I'm eating lunch with my coworker in the cafeteria, but I need to leave first because I have to do something? What can I say in that case?
Okay, yeah. So in that case, I would probably say something like, I've got to run. I'll see you later.
I've got to run. I'll see you later. Okay, great. It's a good expression. I have to remember that one.
Okay, then let's do informal short-term goodbyes now. Obviously, in Korean, we can say 이따 봐, 나중에 봐, or 다음에 봐. Is there anything else we can say in English other than what you mentioned earlier?
Yeah, so there are a few other ways that you can say goodbye in English informally. One really good expression is take it easy. Some of you may already know this expression, and you might know it to mean calm down, and it can mean calm down, but take it easy can also just mean goodbye. There are also some slang ways to say goodbye, such as catch you later and peace out, but I would recommend only using these with very close friends. And finally, people do use other languages sometimes, and both ciao and adios are pretty common in English.
Alright, let's move on to formal long-term goodbyes. So here we are talking about if a colleague is leaving the company or something like that, but you are not that close with them.
Right.
In this situation, we would say 그동안 고생하셨습니다 or 그동안 감사했습니다. 항상 건강하세요.
Okay. So in English, I think there are a few expressions you can use in this kind of situation. So if you have a very formal situation, for example, maybe a formal letter, you might write something like, I wish you luck in all of your future endeavors. But again, this is very formal. Another good expression might be just, I wish you luck in the future.
Alright, so finally, how do you say a long-term goodbye in an informal way? In Korean, I think we would say things like 항상 건강하고 잘 지내? 연락하고.
Okay. So, in English, of course, there are several different ways that you can say goodbye to a close friend or coworker that you won't see for a while. But I think one key expression is keep in touch. This is a great expression because it tells the person that you want to maintain the relationship even though you won't see them for a while. Another really good expression is take care of yourself, just meaning be safe and healthy. Okay, that's all of our expressions for today. Thanks so much for watching Season 3 of the GSENC English Podcast.
Thanks again, Lawton, for the hard work you've done on the podcast. Please keep in touch.
I will.
And please come visit when you have a chance. And keep in touch.
I will. And for me, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you who have been watching the podcast. It has been a huge pleasure for me to get to make these videos for you. There are a lot of people that I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to personally, but I do hope we have a chance to meet again in the future. So long, take care, and keep in touch.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.